Okay, we're excited to start conference play. Big test for us going on the road, our first road game, first conference game against TCU, a team that played the national championship game 2 years ago. When you look at them, they're a very experienced group, one of the more experienced groups, in our league. Their head coach, Sonny Dykes, he's one of the better head coaches in all of college football. Does a super job. Their offensive coordinator, Kendall Briles, is a guy that actually coached KJ Jefferson his best years, at Arkansas, and he's his second year there. And he does a really good job. He's one of the best coordinators in college football with the creativity and the things he does. Real impressed with their quarterback. He can really throw it, but he can also make plays with his feet. And they got 3 experienced receivers. Their defense coordinator, Andy Avalos, is a guy that we've went against each other the last 3 years. I mean, he's done a great job. He was head coach at Boise the last few years, and he does a great job with the different schemes that he has. He's a very aggressive guy, and when you turn on the film, those guys are flying around. They're a real physical group. So overall, this is a good challenge for our team. We're really looking forward to playing these guys, and we expect it, to be a loud environment too, and looking forward to seeing our guys compete. Questions?
Coach, you brought up the connection with KJ Jefferson and Kendall Briles. So just kind of expand on that in terms of KJ. Is this a matchup he's kind of looking? Obviously, it's the first Big 12 game, but like you said, his best years were with Kendall Briles. So he wants to show that he has the kind of performance that maybe exceeds what he did under him.
Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything, just the keep growing within our offense here, for his teammates now. But when he was with Kendall did a super job with him. And like I said, his best years were there, and so it's a big test for our defense, going against this offense too, coordinated by him.
Guys, going into this, I had a chance to look at film. What are some of the things that stood out from the game that you think you guys did really well? What are some things maybe you feel like you need to kind of improve on?
Yeah, the execution piece, there's still things, we were fairly simple really in all 3 phases. So the execution piece needs to be at a higher level each week. I do feel like that we did take a step improvement from week 1 to week 2. We just got to continue to do that. You turn on the film and the guys aren't playing hard, they're sticking out like a sore thumb, and we're starting to figure out, the pieces of the puzzle in all 3 phases. We have more depth and experience we've had in the past. That's really been a good thing, just more or less confirmed, being able to make adjustments really offensively and defensively, and guys understanding. We had a lot of growing pains, last year, and the experience factors really helped.
Coach, obviously you're going to prepare, and next man up has always been the mentality of this group. But heading into this first road game, you're actually having a quarterback that's relatively healthy for the first time in a while. How much of a relief is that for you in preparation?
Yeah, I mean it's good. KJ's been a durable guy really throughout his career. Knock on wood, hopefully that'll continue. He's definitely a run threat. I think everybody can see that. But keeping him healthy is going to be a real important factor within our season.
Last season, you talked a lot about games coming down to the end and one possession games, and you practiced for that. How would you approach that, maybe differently or this season?
Yeah, I mean, even talking to our staff yesterday, I mean, we got to make sure that we spend more time in the game situations than we have the first 2 weeks combined. Not that we didn't then, but it's more important now than ever with those end of the game scenarios, whether it's 2 minute, 4 minute, field goal, everything that goes with it. So, we've got to continue to, practice those things, and so it won't be a shock to our system once we get to those points of the game.
As we were looking, these first 2 games, basically glorified exhibition games. You guys are supposed to beat these teams. Now you go into the Big 12, much tougher opponent. How do you tell the team that we have to grind in, focus more on this?
I think there's 2 points. I mean, the opponent we played last Saturday, Sam Houston, I do think they're a quality opponent. I think you can look around college football and you can see a lot of games like that went to dog fights and all that. So I was proud of our team, the way they came out and took care of business. And they did improve from game 1 to game 2. I mean, you can turn the film on. I mean, this is an impressive group, and our guys see that. I mean, it's an obvious deal, so they understand that, and they're looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we compete against these guys. I mean, This is a very, very talented team, I think. Like I said, their coordinators are two of the best in the country. Their head coach is one of the best in the country. I mean, this is a big test for us, and we're looking forward to seeing where we're at, on the road for the first conference game.
When you look at, I know there's a lot of new players on this team, but but they're turning players, is there an excitement to get back into Big 12 play and kind of prove themselves again after kind of getting?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of new guys, but I'm sure the old guys are ready to get back out there and get going. We actually, finished, I guess, a win in the league. We finished a little stronger towards the end, but yeah, it's a new year. Honestly, it's just a new year. It's a new team. So, I mean, you may want to ask some of the older guys if they feel that way, but this is a big, important game, for us in a lot of different ways.
Getting off on the right foot in conference play, that can set the tone moving forward.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, that would be huge. Like I said, it's a big test, but, anytime you start conference, that's the first one's always the biggest.
You mentioned you've coached against Andy Avalos twice at Boise. How much are you seeing the tendencies and similarities in TCU's defense on film compared to what
Yeah, he
you've
was
done
at
against
Oregon, in 2019. We played him in a kickoff classic in Dallas, when Bo Nix was a true freshman. So, yeah, we know each other very well. He's really good, and his teams play extremely hard, and there's similarities. Each time we played him, he's had his own little wrinkles that go with it. You have to adjust, but they do a good job with their even and their odd, and their pressures, and mix up their coverages, and he's really good.
Gus, looking at this TCU team, you all didn't play them last year, and it's not the same team as it was when they went to the national championship a few years ago. But what will this game mean for UCF playing that big of an opponent, finally in the Big 12, and maybe get a win on the road?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be huge. I mean, you need to look at it, and we'll see what happens at the end, with how everything unfolds conference-wise. But I think this is one of the more talented teams in our conference, just big picture-wise, and we have to go on the road to their place. So, it's a big test for us.
You mentioned the improvement in competition and going on the road for the first game in the Big 12. Do you think you'll learn more about your team and how they respond in this side of adversity?
100%. I mean, we learned each game about our team the first two games. We didn't face a lot of adversity. We faced some, but there's nothing like going on the road. And my experience is, you got 70 players and dress out. You got the coaches, and it's kind of you against the world, and has a way to bring people closer. And so I'm really looking forward to watching how our guys respond, being in that situation.
What's kind of your thoughts on just how this TCU program has kind of built themselves into a Big 12 national power through the years? Because they were one of those teams that kind of earned their way into the BCS with what they did in the Mountain West. And Gary Patterson obviously built a great program for years and years. I know you kind of have some ties to Dallas-Fort Worth too. So what's your perspective of TCU through the years?
TCU, was in the old Southwest Conference, when I was growing up. I mean, playing really good football, and Gary Patterson really did a great job, and known for their defense, and won a lot of games, championships, and they were in it at the end a lot of times, in the BCS era. And now Sonny, took them to the national championship and won the semifinal game impressively, and ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw in the national championship game, but they got there. And so they still got guys from that team and coaches on that staff, so that tells you all you need to know. And then they brought in some real impressive transfers too. So, this is a really talented team, I think, with talented coaches.
You coached against Coach Dykes in 2021. What are the challenges that Coach Dykes' team presents?
Well, he's a good coach. He's a sound guy. He knows how to do it. He's a very experienced guy, probably one of the more experienced head coaches in the country right now. So he's good at what he does.
Guys, overall health of the team coming out of this?
Pretty healthy. Pretty healthy overall. Had a few nicks and bruises, and we were smart with a couple guys. Last night everybody practiced, but we were smart with a couple guys, just making sure that get them healthy for Tuesday. I mean, tomorrow's a really big day, for us practice-wise. So, but overall, feeling good.
Your team has run the ball well. What are you seeing from them on the defensive line?
Yeah, I think our offensive line's done a good job. And I think our running backs and really our fullbacks. I mean, Randy Pittman, what you're going to hear in just a minute, he's off to a great start with his physicality and everything that goes with that. So anytime you have a successful running game, there's a lot of things that go into this, not just talented running backs, which I think everybody knows we're talented in that room, but, you know, if you can run the football, it opens up other things.
What are you seeing from them along the defensive line?
They're aggressive, they're physical, you know, they've got depth. I mean, that's what really stands out to me too. They're very aggressive, they're physical, and they have depth, so the makings of a really good defense.
With Darius Kinnison hasn't played as many snaps as maybe we would have thought going into the season. Is that just other guys kind of surpassing him on a depth chart, or is he 100%?
Yeah, no, he's 100%, and I think he'll have a chance each week to do more and more. I mean, we got a veteran group back there. You know, they've played a lot of football. Quad's playing really, really a high level right now. The good thing is we got quite a few guys that can play, but he'll have a chance to get more and more reps, you know, each game.
Gus, you have a lot of new faces, as you've talked about, on this team. A lot of these guys have big game experience. Are these the moments that you brought these guys in for?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, this is trying to put this roster together and the pieces of the puzzle, and you get to finally play a conference opponent. And so, you know, we'll learn a whole lot about our team and where we're at, and potential and everything that goes with it after this game.
Coach, you mentioned TCU has a few players with that national championship game experience. You've been obviously coaching at a high level yourself at times too. What value does a guy with that experience bring, and then how does it alter your preparation when the other side has guys like that?
I think there's nothing like experience in college football. The more experienced teams you have, the better chance I believe that you have in being successful. And like I said in my opening statement, they're a veteran group. They've got a lot of experience. Now, here's the thing with us. We have a lot of experience too. We have a lot of older guys, played a lot of football, and that's been really good, you know, the first two games.
You've gotten 2 live games with the helmet communication. Now you have to prepare to go on the road with it. What are you doing to help with the crowd noise?
Yeah, we'll practice with the crowd noise and everything that goes with it, with the helmet things. It's been, you know, here at home, it's been you know, pretty easy, but we'll see how it goes. I do think each game we're feeling more and more comfortable with that helmet communication. I'm sure other coaches feel the same way.
Gus, going back to the running back room, you have obviously a very talented running back room, but in terms of the games, do you have like a set plan of how you distribute carries, or is it more of a feel fresh kind of a thing?
Well, I mean, it starts with RJ Harvey, you know, and then obviously wanting to keep him fresh, and that's our whole goal, and we have the flexibility and the depth to do that this year. Each game we go in with a plan. You know, Coach Cam and Tim put their heads together, and you know, we'll go in with a plan each game. And you never know how games unfold too, so you know, you got to keep that in mind. But the good thing is we've got quality running back depth. You can't have enough quality running back depth throughout a season, and so each game may unfold a little bit differently.
Gus, Kobe Henson had a strong game this past week, and Tim Harris said yesterday that he hopes maybe that's something that he's growing more into that leadership role and taking more notice. Do you see him maybe getting to a larger role in the offense as you guys move forward?
Yeah, I mean, he's our leading receiver right now, so I mean, we'll see. We got other good receivers too. I mean, the thing about Colby's played a lot of football, and so the expectations for him is really, really high. And some other guys too have been doing a good job, and you know, we've been really stressing those guys playing without the ball. When they get their opportunities, man, make things happen. So, but that was really good to see the shots down the field. I know we got the one call back, but we were fighting for the ball, and you know, those 50-50 balls, that's one thing that we've really harped on fall camp and practice and everything that goes with that.
Let's talk about what a showcase this is for UCF this week. And obviously it's the Big 12 opener. It's the national Fox game, prime time, after being on ESPN Plus the first couple weeks. A lot of eyes are going to be watching UCF.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for our program, and like we said before, I mean, this is a big year for our program. You know, second year in the Big 12, we're growing, we're trending, but you got to get it done on the field, and there's no doubt it's a big game in a lot of different ways.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.